Where do you get one of those?
This is a plum Barbara.
We actually carried them for a while and then the supply dried up.
But it's not centered.
And we're off. First official day of the workshop. We're on the go with our breakfast in tow.
Oh, it's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a really good day.
In the morning, we're supposed to be drafting, all of us, the entire frame that we'll be building as a class. And then this afternoon, I think we're cutting all of the timbers to length.
Yep.
I think that's it. I don't think we're working on joinery. And Pat said every student will get to do every single task. So we might not do a lot of every task, but we'll have the opportunity to learn every single skill, so.
Let's set some of this. Looks like the guy's sitting there. Some people were fortunate enough to take drafting in high school. This used to be standard curriculum. I think it's really cool that they teach kind of the fundamentals because it's more about understanding the basics and then you can go home and draw, and it's very buildable. So pretty excited to be using this ridiculous tool. If you don't know what these are, I've had these in my toolbox for a long time and they're really annoying because they're always backwards from where you want them to be. They do make different ones, but it allows us to draw in scale, which is kind of fun. Where I'm excited to kind of learn is the bird's mouth. I think that joint is intimidating at first, and I'm curious to see the layout on it because like the concept is clear, but the drawing part is like everything moves in. It has to move in, except for it looks like because the rafter goes right out the edge of the building like this. It may be more simple than I think, but I'm excited to figure out how to draw that. As you can see here, Alyssa has a background in graphic design and at one time had to turn in papers to a college professor.
Okay.
So she cares greatly about the cleanness of her drawing.
I'm meticulous.
And then there's Jessie.
Break time.
They let us out.
Yeah.
We're back in the world. Hey, it's kind of fun.
We have tracking devices on our ankles though, so we can't go too far.
We're under house arrest. I am loving drawing with Alyssa. It's super fun.
Are you being sarcastic?
No, I love it. It's so fun to draw together because we really haven't got to do it. You use like InDesign or something.
Yeah.
And I use SketchUp, and we never get to just draw together. And apparently it takes flying 3,000 miles
to draw together.
to get us to sit down and draw together.
It's kind of nice to go back to the basics. I think
it's super fun.
Yeah, so far we're learning fairly basic stuff, but I mean, I don't know, it's a lot of good concepts to wrap your head around.
I think it'll help us later. I'm looking forward to the hands-on, but one thing at a time. You know, learning to do the basics, then go out and start cutting wood, because uncutting wood's much harder than erasing on paper, which I've done a lot of. We should see whose eraser has more wear at the end of the day. We should label our erasers, Jessie and Alyssa, and see whose eraser has more.
Probably mine, because I'm more meticulous.
Oh, could be.
Like if there's a smudge. Yeah. So this is pretty awesome.
Yeah, cute little cabin. That'd be a great office, wouldn't it? Like a studio.
We can do it one day. They say that students that misbehave are buried out back. We're gonna go to the student graveyard, probably on our next break.
Yeah. I wonder if they even give you a headstone. And maybe like say what you did wrong.
Probably.
Like didn't follow instructions.
Yeah. class was great. We learned how to draft, the basics of drafting an actual timber frame to scale using different scales. We also talked a little bit about foundations.
Yep, and drying the structure in, you know, some of the enclosure systems. And also we talked a lot about like the timber selection and drying the timbers and why drying happens the way it does. You know, we got to ask a lot of wonderful questions. So we haven't cut anything yet, but I feel like we got a really good kind of like foundation for what we're gonna work on. And I think we drew the frame that we're gonna build. So that was pretty helpful. We didn't do a lot of detail on the joinery, I'll say that. We drew basically the basic lines of the structure. So I'm kind of curious how that's gonna work out. We're gonna start cutting timbers to length this afternoon, so.
I think what's also cool is there's a lot of information out there, especially on the internet, and it's not all good for every circumstance. So these folks build all around the world, and they say there's no one way to skin a cat, but we kind of sifted through a lot of poor information. So I think that's a value of a workshop with people that really know what they're doing and that you have faith in.
Yeah, and this is not exhaustive. I think that's something that's worth noting, is that this class is not going to teach you everything you possibly need to know. It's enough to teach you to build this frame, but you're still a lot of learning after this. We felt like there was a lot of topics where people had questions and they just didn't get a lot of answers. It's not because they weren't available, that's just not what this class is for. So, you know, this is not meant to be an exhaustive resource.
And on that note, I think it's time to get some food.
It's snack time. And then, drone.
Right, into the workshop we go.
Lunch? What lunch?
Right?
Back to work.
I stuffed my face. Time to put this baby to work. Did you get the Zoran saw too, or just this one?
I did.
Nice.
And I used them both so far.
Oh, cool.
I didn't use this big one yet, but
Which one do you like more?
I think they both have different purposes. That's definitely that Zoran.
Yeah. This seems a lot
Zoran is
hardier.
definitely
Like you could reef on it a little better.
Yeah, this is definitely a get through the wood quicker.
Yeah.
But
I think that's why we got it.
I did some ripping with this one and I really liked it.
So I guess these are all the beams that we're gonna turn into a 24 by 24 structure.
So I actually feel a little bit of an imperfection in this beam. It's bowed out a little bit right here.
Yep. I think it's challenging to do with gloves on. I feel like you can't really feel.
You can't feel. Yeah.
I don't know if we want to practice a cut on the one we messed up.
No, we want to lay them all out, then cut them.
Okay.
So this one, if you took your glove off and you felt it, there's a bit of concave here. It's a little thin here, a little thick there, and a little thin here. It's not a lot.
It's perfect.
Nice, good job. Oh wow, that's like surgical precision.
I just want to say we're the only ones that haven't made a cut yet, but our cuts are perfect.
Our lines. We haven't made any cuts yet. Yeah. All right.
Definitely.
What you got?
Our Zoran saw.
So this is a Japanese pole saw.
Yes.
It's a very unique one made by Silky. It's called the Zoran. And this is what all the students are using. It's highly recommended by the school.
I'm sure our saws now are good, maybe. I don't know, but this one I'm really excited about. I like the idea that this is a lot more ergonomical. And we just learned a really cool way to saw. And I've been sawing wrong like my entire life. I don't know, it's just moving all over the place.
I like to use my thumb.
Okay.
High.
Okay.
Right there.
So try to go more shallow. Yeah, there you go. That's looking better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just hot. What are your thoughts? Am I crazy or do you see what I'm talking about?
I understand. I never didn't understand. There's a lot of sawdust in here.
Yeah.
So that might have been an issue for you.
I feel like the saw is easier to cut with. I just feel like I'm having a hard time getting a hang of it. Jesse's the professional mistake fixer.
No.
First cut. Looks good on camera. It really does.
So actually you're doing really great up here.
Yep.
You're doing really great. And then just off, you're off by almost a quarter down here. This side's pretty severe too. But again, you're doing pretty well up here. And then started to cut in.
I think a lot of that problem was just having a a hard time getting the saw.
Well, that's why we're
running,
practicing,
so-
right? So.
Yep.
No, that went really good. I mean, pretty cool. It's all cut by hand.
Yep.
Very clean cuts. Bringing those home as presents.
Yay.
I think we should send them to people. Sign them
Really?
and then send them
Like
to
for
people.
real?
Yeah, like as a
real,
gift.
for real?
Yes, like sign them and then give them to people.
I think that's it for the day. I think it's time to wrap it up now.
Yeah, everybody's been cleaning up. We're
Right.
like slower than molasses.
Right.
But I
But,
didn't
you know,
come here to set a record. I
I
came
think
here to
with
learn.
this, it's the tortoise and the hare approach.
Yeah, you know what was really cool about Alyssa doing the last cut is she got to use our saw, even though Pat, the founder of the class, started the cut for her, and the cut is dang near perfect. And I think it's really important that Alyssa learn these skills because it takes a little bit of pressure off me having to teach so much. And I think it's really beneficial to her to have somebody else giving her instruction and coaching and that. So it helps the relationship dynamic a little bit. Otherwise I become the tutor instead of the husband, you know. So anyway, she did a fantastic job. That cut looks
Yay.
absolutely perfect. I don't know where she got it. She was like, must have been playing the whole time, like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. And then like a laser. I don't know. I have to say, I've never owned a saw with a good sheath. I'm not saying we shouldn't buy sheaths, but this is a pretty nice one. So anyway, time to put all the tools away. And then I don't know what we're doing. I think we're getting instructions.
I don't know.
Or, I don't know, maybe we're all just going for a beer. So we just spent 3 hours making 7 whopping cuts in an 8x8 beam. But we learned the value of precision when it comes to using the timber framing square and averaging out the irregularities in a timber. So pretty important skill. We also learned the value of a sharp pencil. And we also got to use our new pull saw, which is a completely different tool than either of us have ever used. And we sure look like a couple of left-handed ninjas. But in the end, Alyssa nailed it. Nailed the final cut on the beam. So it was a pretty exciting afternoon.
And now I think we're going to dinner and cocktails.
Yeah, we're
or
gonna
whatever they call
socialize.
them.
Classic.
Yeah. Looks like we're eating at Kennebec Tavern. Hope they have cider.
And you guys don't get to go with us.
Hey, I thought we're doing an introductory clip. You look like you have other plans.
I know, I spotted this little cabin looking thing and I see that the door's open.
Oh. Clearly that means we're welcome to go in, right? Clearly.
That or they just leave the door open. Don't come in here.
Is this gonna make me want an office?
Don't come in here unless you want to build a timber.
Okay.
This is one of their concrete countertops they make. They have a
Heck
concrete
yeah.
countertop class.
Yeah.
So this was one of their countertops they made to fit the corner.
Yep. I think it's good we don't live here. I think this would be
We spend all of our money on education and never build anything. Look at this little loft.
the yoga loft.
The yoga loft. You could be making a sleeping loft. Then you can put your kitchen
Yep.
or bedroom down here, or living room, or
I mean,
office, or.
so this morning in class, looks like we're gonna do sharpening.
Yeah.
So we brought our chisels.
Yep, we're gonna learn how to kind of get all the surfaces flat first, I think, and then how to put an insane edge, an insane by American standards edge.
Yeah.
For the Japanese folks out there, it's a bit of an embarrassment, but we're told that it's sharp enough.
Trying Turns out we're starting in the workshop.
Yeah, oops. Well, everybody had the same idea, so.
Here, and the guide rolls back and forth on.
This is a very predictable way of doing it. We've been able to get consistent results from a wide range of people regularly. A pretty fine bevel tip, but and you do want to use the entire surface of
Right, standard is the goal.
All right, we waited until we got instructions, and so I need to go kind of purchase a couple of different tools. And I'm really glad that we waited to purchase this stuff because, as was mentioned in our instructions, there's a million ways to skin a cat and sharpen a chisel. But these methods that these folks are sharing are meant to just give you the most consistent results possible. And I think when you're an owner builder, that's really all you're after. I mean, you could spend the rest of your life debating the physics of sharpening steel, but really this class is designed to teach you how to build a house, not how to become a philosophical authority on chisel honing and sharpening. So I'm gonna go grab a couple things really quick. What we ended up purchasing was a honing guide from Veritas, and then a total of 3 stones, and the grits are 220, 1000, and 4000. And what I like about the workshop is that they've got years and years and years with these tools. They are pretty savvy when it comes to knowing what works and helping you find a way to make what you have work. So you don't need $900 in chisels to build a timber frame, which is kind of common knowledge, but they have a fantastic skill for taking, older tools and turning them into something useful. And what I appreciate here is when I purchase something and spend a considerable, investment in tools, I don't feel like I'm going to come back and return those items and be frustrated. So we're setting the width of the chisel, and that makes sure that it lines up with the wheel on the bottom,
Okay.
and it's in the right position to be sharpened.
So that's 2 inch. This is at 25 degrees
Okay,
on gold.
good.
This is set to 2.
Yep, and then let's make sure that the knob on the side over here is set to 12 o'clock.
I think it needs to go wider. So like that, I guess.
So turn it over so you can see.
Let me go find some water for you.
Okay, thank you. There you go, very nice.
So you can see where the micro bevel is, and the line's actually going to work its way up.
Yep, hold on. It's already moving, I can see it.
I can see it too.
Yep, cool.
So apparently you want your stone wet. Like wet. I've been working on this for what, 45 minutes?
Probably, yeah, 30
minutes, and I'm not quite halfway done, but my hands are hurting, so Jesse's going to take over.
My turn.
I don't know if we've said this, but there's definitely pros and cons to sharing a set of tools. On one hand, we don't get as much experience as other people, but on the other hand, that frees one of us up to go see what other students are doing.
True.
And that's really valuable too.
Yeah,
Because-
everybody's had a different experience.
Yeah.
Some people bought
So-
antique tools and brought them,
Yep.
and then other people bought tools here, and there's a couple,
Yep.
3 different brands, Japanese and
Yep,
Sorbies
exactly,
and
yep.
bars, and every one of them has sharpened different from what I can
yeah.
see. Thought it was still
So Jesse finished our 2-incher and is on to the 1.5-incher, and I am going to take a finer stone to this.
So you're gonna work on 1000 grit. This is 220 grit. Yeah.
Do you know which one's yours?
Yep, I marked it
You did.
on the side somewhere.
Most everyone is on their first one still. Most.
Really?
Yep. So taking a forced lunch.
Yeah, they're making us get the heck out of here. So what was it like sharpening chisels for an entire morning?
It was okay. I'd say we don't feel as tired as other people because we're sharing the work, but I think it's just something that takes time. I think there's definitely a technique to it, which I feel like everyone learns pretty quick.
I think it's good to learn the value of a sharp tool.
Yeah.
That way when you have a sharp tool,
Yep.
you understand the amount of labor that went into getting it that way. And I think also understanding what a truly sharp tool looks and feels like. So the chisels we purchased, we were told when we purchased them, oh, you don't need to sharpen them, they're sharp.
Yes.
Is that now your impression? What's your impression of that?
I mean, I guess it'd be interesting to do like a cut with them after we buy them, and then a cut after we sharpen them. But I can totally see how we're sharpening for like hours on one chisel.
Well, and we're doing the rough sharpening, so we're basically getting the chisel fine-tuned, and then in theory you have to just maintain the edge.
Yep.
Right, so we're basically flattening the sharpening edge, which if you don't drop or chip your chisel, you shouldn't really ever have to do again.
Yeah.
But if you don't do that to begin with, you're never going to get a truly flat edge.
Yep.
So what are we going to do? Use the little girl's room?
Yep.
Kind of tour the campus a little bit? Kind
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Check out some of the structures around here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really cool architecture.
Yep.
That's a lot of part of our class, so it'd be fun to go check all that stuff out.
Here's kind of a fun map they have here of where their students come from. Let's see if anyone's attended this class from my hometown. Palmdale, California. Nope. So I think we're gonna just practice layout the rest of the afternoon. I don't think we're gonna get to cutting.
I don't know. I think we can get some of our chisels sharpened this afternoon too, so
Possibly.
that'll be really nice. And then we get to cut more stuff, make wood things.
And yeah.
Number 6, Jesse
Jesse.
and Alyssa.
Who's left? 1, 2, 3. Chris. So you're doing the beam that is going to be fitting into all 3 of these. And that's like 5 times more work than any one of these. We're going to have that big beam coming in here. So we have to be sure that there are no knots in this area.
So we are assigned to number 6 post over here, and so what we're looking for is a post that has one bad side. The other 3 sides need to look pretty good. A corner post can have 2 bad sides because it's going in the corner. You always want to put the ugly against the wall so it's hidden. So everybody's kind of looking for those posts, and there's teams of people working on each post, about 2 people per post. So our frame design is laid out on a compass. So we're marking the bottom of the post clearly, and then we're also marking the compass orientation on the post so that we understand which face we're looking at and working on. And super important because on the other side of the post, if we're looking at it from the top and we're walking back and forth left to right, those orientations can get confusing and pretty soon you're cutting the wrong joint. So we're ready to begin laying out the cuts for our post, and we're going to be only measuring one side and one corner, and we're going to make all of our markings on this one face, and then where needed we're going to transfer those markings around the beam with our framing square. So after 30,000 sharpenings like this,
Yep.
hold on, look here.
Totally. I was poking myself in the boob.
But wait, look, I'm stretched out like this, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's all hunched over like this, right?
Yep.
And I'm like, hey, Blueberry, can I do it like this? She's like, yeah, sure. Blueberry, I'm holding a chisel right now. It's not
Yeah.
a good idea to tell me these things. And you can take your thumb and push down into the
Oh,
stone.
sweet. Okay.
Right?
So now it's going a lot better.
I'm like, and it's not hitting me in the face, and I can stand a lot closer to it.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the blade. I'm looking at it right
Yep.
now. And I can get it right to the edge of the stone.
Okay.
Anyway, just, you know, it's a life changer. After you've sharpened one of these
totally,
chisels,
yeah.
you'll totally understand what we're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like finding out you can use a jet airplane instead of walking.
Did Jesse share something that he was doing that was working?
Yes, one is reversing the way that we're
Yep.
holding the, I don't even know what this,
Yeah.
the guide.
Yeah.
And then putting it up on a block definitely
Really?
helped.
That alone?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Both of those tips really helped us, for
Yeah.
sure. It just, I think it's better on your fingers. You know,
Yep.
I think you got a lot more force with pushing down on it with your thumbs rather than your fingers. And it just, you know, it just seems to go a lot easier, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Progress is a lot faster.
So I'm done marking 3 sides of my beam or post. Now I think it's time to make Jesse do it. Jesse, ready?
Yeah, look at this. Look at the difference. That's getting to be like surgically sharp.
Wow, yeah. Ooh.
Don't touch this with your hands. It's so sharp.
I think we should make everyone
Hold
stand in
on.
the line and we're all gonna shave our arms.
Hold
Ready?
on, look.
Hold on, wait. Okay,
I haven't even taken the burr off the back yet. So what do you got to teach me?
so now we're gonna flip it and we're gonna do the last full of mortise and tenon.
Okay, cool.
So basically we have to flip this over, transfer some lines. Do. We're done.
Okay.
We're almost there.
Wow. Beautiful. Wow, that's challenging, isn't it?
It is. Just getting ready to clean those edges out here.
Take it back a few more times, make sure it's totally flat. So again, all we're doing is knocking off.
Moving the burr back, basically.
Yep, we're just gonna get rid of it.
Yep. So we're showing you a before and after on bar chisels.
Before, after.
Yup.
That's
Can you see
crazy.
the shine?
Heck
the
yeah.
sheen? This chisel has over 4 hours of sharpening into it. And this is the one I tried to use in the video that wouldn't cut. If you could see the edges, I don't even know if you can get the camera from around here. And then just look at the edge
Wow.
from the front.
Oh wow, yeah, well,
You can see the thickness of the edge on this one compared to that one. I mean, that thing is like a razor sharp. So today turned out to be 8 straight hours of chisel sharpening for this guy. And I'll say this, I learned the value of sharpening a tool and how to take care of it. But I do feel like we got behind in class today. So a lesson I learned today is you need to speak up to your instructors because you need them to guide you. We're students, and I guess I felt like the class got ahead of us. A little frustrating. So anyway, today turned into 8 hours of chisel sharpening for me. I feel very in touch with my chisels now.
I still feel that I learned a lot about chiseling today, even if I wasn't the one pounding away with the chisel.
Well,
I've pounded away with dull chisels before, so I guess in a way if our chisels aren't sharp, like I kind of get the gist of chiseling.
Yeah. No, it was actually fun to watch because you can tell who sharpened their chisels and who didn't. I can tell you that right now. I got to watch people because I'm just like this for 7 straight hours. And I could see the difference between sharp chisels and not, especially when people got into kind of twisted grain. But yeah, you know, not having 2 sets of tools of everything, I don't know. I don't think that it's worth spending all that money because we don't need them in the long run. So it would literally be for the class. We'd be spending $400, $500, $600 on tools. That said, sharpening these chisels, this is the first time they've been sharpened. So this is not a constant problem. This is a problem once. And we did learn to sharpen them extremely sharp. So you don't have to do that, but it's one of those things. We didn't come here to learn how to do the basics. We came here to learn how to do it well.
to master an art.
To
I mean,
master it.
it's naive to think that we'll master an art in one class, but
Well, you learn the little nuances. Like
Yeah.
when we take a class or we pay someone for education, it's not that we're confused about how it all works. We're paying them for the little tiny nuggets of gold that have been keeping us from reaching our goals. And we are getting those.
I think despite frustrations of the day of feeling like we're kind of behind, we're still getting a lot of value.
Yeah, and we'll catch up. I mean, tomorrow
Yep.
morning we'll have some blistering sharp chisels. So assuming I can even get out of bed tomorrow, I'm super excited to work on making sawdust with Alyssa. We got crazy sharp chisels. For the record, for those who are curious, the difference between a 1,000 grit and a 4,000 grit is a lot. It's like the difference between being able to shave your arm and not. Anyway, so sharp chisels. Tomorrow we get to make more sawdust. We're going to be cutting joinery for the next day and a half. Otherwise, we're going to wind down tonight. We have been on the run.
Yeah.
So we're going to get some rest, get some food, and we'll catch up tomorrow.
Day 3 of the workshop. We're feeling a little rough around the edges. I think jet lag's catching up to us, lack of sleep, and it's gonna be a positive day.
We only have to take about 1 billion tools in there today.
Right.
So one
We
word
have the
today.
shelter bag.
We do. One word for today, cutting. Oh wait, 2 words, sawdust.
It rained so flippin' hard last night.
Yeah.
Makes for a really pretty day today. I mean, it's a little wet, so I don't know if we're gonna get out to do much, but I found a pro to having rusty tools in class.
What's that?
Nobody else has rusty tools, so you don't have to write your name on it
Nobody
because no
wants
one will claim the rusty square.
Now if you have stainless steel, you
Yeah.
better write your name on it
Totally.
all 4 sides.
Yep. There's smoke coming out of the building. That must mean it's warm in there. My lens is getting soaked. So it looks like we had an elf come in the middle of the night and start hacking away at our logs, so we're gonna attempt to catch up this morning.
How's it going, love?
It's going okay.
All right, what you working on?
I'm trying to put the finishing touches on this mortise and shave off tiny little bits at a time.
Yeah, so what are you learning to use? Looks like you're checking depth or squareness.
Squareness, yeah.
Ah, okay.
I'm trying to make sure that there's like a tight right angle.
Okay.
Usually you're a little up on one side or the other and have to take a little more material off, but
Got it, okay.
I accidentally took too much off already on this side.
And how often are you checking that?
Every few strokes.
Okay, so taking like 2 or 3.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess it just depends.
Okay. Are you getting a better feel for working with the chisel in small amounts?
I don't feel I'm in a flow yet. Everything's very choppy.
Okay. We get faster over time,
Yeah.
but more focusing on quality right now, right?
Yep, so I just busted through this end of the through mortise, but as you can see, it's super uneven. So now I'm gonna go ahead and try to clean that up, make it square, and move on to the next joint.
Okay, so I've been cleared to now take these small bits off and finish this tenon. I'm gonna actually make a cut here and here with our Zorin. If we had a Ryoba, we might be able to finally rip closer to this line, which would save time, and then finish by chiseling to the line. I don't have a Ryoba, so I'm gonna just do some rough cuts here with the Zorin and then chisel these out. Something I found, when you keep the chisel back flat, it gives you a lot more control over thin cuts.
Yep.
Whereas if you tend to angle the chisel, other than just to get your line started,
Yeah.
you tend to dig a lot.
Totally.
And I'm not saying it's perfect, but I find that you can take very thin bits off. You got it? We are learned on rafters. We are rafter learned.
Are you gonna go do that?
I'm gonna finish my cut, and then I'm probably gonna jump over there. The 1-inch stuff, let them do with that. You know, let's go learn something new.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go work on one of those.
Yeah. We have to add to our toolkit, but I ain't bringing the camera into this rain. You're gonna miss the walk, sorry.
Okay, well, I can do that.
So we just got the Ryoba saw, and this is good investment. I have to cut at an angle here, this bird's mouth, straight. So I think cutting at an angle is gonna be challenging.
Yeah, so this is waist here.
Exactly.
And that's gonna be the joinery.
Oh, no
there.
way, this is not the joint, this is it.
Ah, okay, so you're playing, you're learning.
I don't know who would trust me going at this. I'm just curious.
Did you know that people have to do less practice than this to become parents?
Right?
You don't even have to pretend like you can be a parent.
No way.
You can just be a parent. Excuse me, ladies. Did you want to say something to somebody?
Hi, Timmy.
Hi, darling. Here it is.
He cut all those himself, and we're still working on all this stuff. We're like total amateurs. I mean, he cut that last night.
Look at these guys cut all these.
I know, what the heck?
I know.
Are there any left to do?
I know, they're gonna leave the rest of them for...
Oh, I was gonna say, I haven't even got to do one yet. I'm like slow over here. This guy's like beast moding on them.
Yeah.
All right, I'm working on a male dovetail, and I've already made my markings and my cuts, and I have a 1-inch shelf on the bottom, which is like a housing here for the dovetail. So the dovetail is actually gonna rest on the beam here. This is not a housed beam, just the dovetail is housed here. So now I need to use my chisel, and I'm going to remove this material on both sides so that I end up with a dovetail here. Isn't even a smaller chisel that's just like way better in your hand.
Well, I didn't wanna buy chisels because I have
you already
these
have a bunch, yeah.
from my shop, you know?
Right. Well,
And
I mean, that's the one thing I'm learning about this class is that this is what they use. It doesn't mean this is what you have to use.
No.
I mean, if you have a set of chisels, use them, right? Very difficult cut.
Wow, that's been...
Holy cow.
Did you hear that loud lumber dropping? All the way across the building?
Whoa!
That was me.
This guy.
Four cuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. And look at that, it's pretty smooth.
Nice.
I might get,
Pretty close to the line, too.
I might get promoted to the bird's mouth cutter, so I better be careful who I tell that to.
Yeah.
So I think I do need to chisel that.
Okay.
Probably ask.
Yeah, no, it needs to be chiseled to the line. Yep.
Okay. Here's my half lap joint after, I don't know, maybe an hour of work. So you see I have a lot of cleanup to do still. That's so smooth.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
Are you finding it easier to cut those sideways? Everybody else seemed to be cutting them this way.
Go away.
Like standing
Oh,
up.
absolutely.
You're cutting like this.
Then I have a kind
You
of
can
a
actually
straight
see
face.
it. Got it.
And Jesse's back to working on our original post.
Yeah.
Oh nice, you got the little like,
Yeah, it's called a housing.
that looks awesome.
I'm getting close. Very interesting methodology. I've
Yep.
not practiced anything like this before. So.
Yeah, I kind of want to do one, but might run out of time. But I'm mastering the half lap, so
Good. Yeah, between the two of us, we're really tackling
Yeah.
different joinery.
I might want the slicks soon.
Okay.
What's crazy is so far I'm taking off large chunks of wood so the chisels don't feel that sharp. But when I just run it over the edge, I get like paper. Yeah, it's so crazy.
Yeah, the chisel I'm finding is very much like a multi-purpose tool. So you can do big stuff, like you can do kind of just clearing work. But I'm using it as a slick right now, and I'm just taking shavings off of this stuff. So, yeah, once you start to get a feel for it, you can really start to take very small amounts of wood off.
Our chisels don't look new anymore, covered in sap.
Yeah, buddy.
So are my hands and my pants. And I'm pretty sure I have blood on my pants. That's not my own. Jesse's working on his dovetail.
It's a female dovetail. I already did the male on the other side.
Hopefully there's one left for Alyssa to do.
It's very challenging because a square chisel doesn't like to go in a hole very well, but patience gets you there. Isn't it crazy when you get here where the saw stops cutting? It's like absolute nightmare. You gotta like dig.
I have to go down.
Yeah, you have to like dig.
So this is supposed to go straight down, right?
Yeah.
I didn't finish.
You didn't finish?
No.
The go home buzzer went off first.
And the elf will probably finish tonight.
Right,
so.
I know. These elves keep coming in and taking away our fun.
I'm feeling pretty confident though.
Yeah,
I feel like we can do most things with patience.
You worked there.
Yep.
And then you went over there? Yeah, then you cut a bird's mouth.
Yep.
Then you cut a half lap. And then you worked on a dovetail. Wow, you have almost gone all the way around the room.
Yeah.
We're cruising for sure. There's not, I mean, there's not a ton of joinery left to do, so. This is our Blocko classmates for our Shelter Institute. So we're trying to get everybody to autograph it. And then I don't know what we're gonna do with it. But it seems like a really fun idea.
It does, yeah.
All right, we better get our garbage and get out of here before they kick us out. I'm gonna put it in here. Once you get the blade guard on this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go take a trip to the car so we're not carrying so much stuff.
Yeah, feels like we're moving out. Huh?
Right. Still raining. So another day in the workshop down, and I think today went really well. We definitely got a lot more hands-on experience than we did yesterday. Everyone moved at their own pace. There were a lot of joints to do, and the theory was that just try to do one of everything, so that's what I tried to do.
So when you kind of felt like, okay, I got this, I figured it out, I want to move on to something else, we could.
Yes.
So super fun. A lot of chiseling, and we got to use the menagerie of tools from stair gauges, framing squares, Ryoba saws, chisels, slicks, combination squares, I mean, marking knives. Like, we got to use our whole entire toolbox, I think, today. You know what's really fun today? I felt like I got to talk to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because the joints are about 2 feet apart.
Totally. Well, that's,
or you're sitting on top of each other. Yeah, but you start to find out what people's goals are. You learn a little bit about them, where they're from, you know, maybe what their background, what their education is or whatever. And today, people were running into really interesting problems. Like, there were some really clear lessons that came out of today. Like, make sure there are no knots in your joints. Knots in your joints suck. Like, loud and clear lessons some people ran into, and it took hours to get one joint. You know? So just really cool lessons. All right, we gotta go eat, lay down, be social.
And get ready for tomorrow. I'm still really happy that we chose to stay with somebody instead of getting a hotel. Just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Makes me really happy to come home to new friends and have dinner with them.
Well, and they're kind of curious too, because they're past students of the workshops. They're like, oh, what'd you guys learn today? How'd it go? What, you know, what'd you get to do? Did you get to do this? Did you get to do that? It's kind of fun. We get to talk about it over dinner usually, or just while we're kind of lounging around, so.
It's warm in here. And I think it's time for a Not Your Mother's rhubarb.
Oh, do you want one?
Oh, what'd you grab?
I got grapes.
Oh, let's have one of each. We found a hard grape soda. It's kind of like alcoholic Dimetap. We're excited to try it out.
It's like cough medicine for grown-ups.
Totally. And this guy right here. The Not Your Father's brand is definitely one of our favorites. And now they have a Not Your Mom's brand,
It's not your
sub-brand.
mom's, and it's not even not your mother's.
Totally, yeah, it's not your mom's.
Not your mom.
Strawberry rhubarb.
What?
Another bloody nose?
Oh, I cut myself shaving.
Okay.
What you got there?
Coffee.
For who?
You. I took the last, so we should probably make some more.
See, when I booked reservations, I got first class room service.
True story. It was like the second question we asked. Do you have a way to make coffee? If not, what's up? Deal's canceled.
Yeah.
Wow. Day four of the workshop. Do you kind of feel that all these videos start out the same? Like, hurry, 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 eat breakfast, wake up, rush, 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 rush. Start the video in the car, get to the workshop. So today I think we're finishing up joinery, probably polishing our cuts. And according to the schedule, we're gonna go tour some timber frame homes this afternoon. A shelter, This is like the Truman Show. So we're running a little bit late, but if you want, I can drink a lot of water, so I have to pee in like 30 minutes, and that is my excuse to escape and go get coffee. What do you think? I think that's a good plan. I want to see if an elf finished my dovetail last night. Uh-oh. I don't see it. This might have been it right here.
Any left? Looks like they're almost done.
They're pretty easy.
Actually, you know what? I'm pretty sure there's a million mortises over there for the braces that need to be finished out. It's like your chisel sharpened itself overnight. It did. Here's a theory: just set the sharpener next to the chisel and just see what happens.
See what happens in the morning. Yeah.
But I mean, it's not like it's gonna happen. But what if? It's like if it did, would you be mad? You know?
No, I think I'd be very happy.
Found something to work on.
More what?
Oh, you know what? This doesn't have the depth on it, so I don't know if this is a through.
Yeah, 3.5. Everything's 3.5
Everything's
except the
3.5.
one in the middle here is 5.5.
Okay. I think I'll work on one of these. I haven't done something that isn't a through
Yeah.
mortise yet, so I think that's a good thing for me to work on.
But they didn't
when it's
even
in
chain mortise that.
Great.
So you're gonna have to dig that sucker out.
That's good for me.
It's good practice.
I have mallet shoulder this morning, like I'm super sore in here from reason.
How's the? Oof.
I'm pretty
Wow.
buff.
We should have arm wrestling contests later. You should just randomly try to engage people in arm wrestling
Right?
contests just to see
Yeah.
who wins.
I was gonna be there. Like,
So I'm about done with this joint. It turns out the tenon is 3 inches, so the joint needs to be 3.5 inches deep. There's a couple high spots that I have, but other than that, I'm done. So I'm just gonna clean this up.
Good job,
How's it going, boys?
Woody.
Woody?
We're having some fun.
I ain't gonna use my stick much.
Oh, the slick is fun. I really didn't like it at first. I was like, this is not gonna be fun.
Yep.
And then you learn that you just have to flatten it.
Right?
And it's
Well, and your
beautiful.
joint has to be somewhat smooth.
Right. You have to have a spot to work with.
Yep.
The Shelter Institute provides a more exhaustive resource to owner builders, and it's a design build course that's 2 weeks. As part of that class, you end up creating a scale model of your house design. These are cardboard models, and then over here we actually have wooden models, and they help you to validate the truss designs and also your frame and other member locations. Something I've noticed, just as someone who's hoping to do an owner build, that you probably could spend a year getting to educational resources like this workshop that we're taking now, which is just for frames. We did touch on foundations, we touched on insulation, we touched on roofs, but we didn't go into depth. But the owner builder course is exhaustive. You should be able to come away with that with all the information you need to confidently build your home. And the thing is, those classes aren't all the time, so I think they might only do them once a year or maybe twice a year. So if you plan on a timber frame workshop that's really hands-on, and then you do the design build course, you're looking at probably over 6 to 8 months of time span between those, and that obviously doesn't include getting your house started. So just the education process here could take a year plus if you wanted to commit to these workshops. All right, we're off to terrorize past students. We're riding with Bruce. Who are you guys riding with? Blueberry. Blueberry. Have fun. Well, it was nice knowing you guys.
Occupied. side.
Oopsie. Wrong side. What was the sticker on this truck, Bruce?
It has way more things than I need. One of the things I like about it the most is things that you would think you'd never use. Air conditioned seats. I set my phone right there, it charges, and the heated steering wheel, which I would think if a man told me he liked the heated steering wheel, I'd tell him he's a
What's your girlfriend think of that? I mean, your boyfriend think of that?
Hello?
Johnny.
Yeah.
And I've got a couple with me in here, and she's got pitch all over her new Carhartts. And I told her I'd find the answer. So.
Margarine.
Hydraulic oil, extra diesel fuel. You can use any of those oil products.
Okay.
He could be a Carhartt model.
Really?
I'll show you a picture of him. So call it a box. So.
Thanks for the ride.
Aspects of post beam construction, you're free to wander around.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's hard not to fall in love with timber frames.
And every one of them is unique, ironically. I love that the frame also becomes a place for just living.
Totally, like
people are
shelves
not
and stuff.
afraid to
Yep.
just use it for shelving.
A lot of people use these as hooks, like hat hooks, jewelry. I don't know. Some people prefer to saw them off. But once you create your joint, you use these to really hold it in place.
You can see this, but this is a ridge beam, and the weight is being transferred down, but that's actually a scarf joint. It's a very basic scarf joint that is used to attach a second piece of wood to extend the length of the great room there. So when you start getting long, you start running into timber length issues. It's not that you can't get logs that long, it's that you can't get a beam that big out of a log that long because the tree gets too narrow by the time you get there.
It's a nice office. Again, this is a pretty small room, but because of the height of the ceiling, it feels quite large. I'm in love with these really steep angles in the bedrooms.
Did you see this, Alyssa? There's another
cool.
Scarf joint there.
Scarf joint.
Much easier to see. This one's moved a bit. It's amazing how much movement there is in this frame.
Hey Cannon, there's your grandpa. Grandpa Nikon.
So there's ICFs down here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh wow, it's so warm down here. So this is the blocks of concrete that we're going to be using.
So yeah, they just left the foam on.
No, you don't take it off.
Okay.
It's permanent. Then you put whatever you want over it.
That's what I mean. They didn't cover it, but no need to, right?
Oh yeah, no, So this actually answers a question I had about how to put a wood stove in the garage because you can't exactly pour concrete and pour a flue.
Yeah.
So you put block in, and then you can put a block chimney out. So you pour your concrete right up to the sides. Oh, what do we got going here? Hey, Ollie. This house, and we need to talk about this. This house is actually built with a typical I-joist floor. So the frame is sitting on an I-joist floor. This is not a full timber frame. So these are what are called BCI joists, and then they've insulated in the bays, and then they've run their plumbing, as you can see here.
Yeah.
This is their sewer line. So it's all exposed in the garage, right? So it's very easy to access. Here's your water lines, your electrical.
Yeah, and they went with steel here instead of wood all the way down, which I think is what we're talking about.
Well, you could do this with wood, so we will have to do something.
Yep.
But this reduced the size of that bracing.
That's nice though. Like these totally aren't intrusive, so I think it's really nice to see it.
Talking about, right?
Yep.
And something I see here that I have a question about blueberry for is fire. So this is concrete, but this is wood. And people have been saying if you park a car, if you park a car down here, you need to think about a fire barrier.
Right.
Because it's all wood.
Okay.
If it catches on fire, boom, it's gone, the house falls down. Gets really bad really quick.
It's a nice bathroom, isn't it?
Heck yeah. Now this is what you call a master bedroom.
Right? Look at this.
Yeah, this is incredible.
This is as big as the whole house we're building.
Yeah, this is the size of the workshop house.
This is the size of the workshop house.
So I just asked the owner his favorite thing about the fact that his house is timber framed and the house in general. And he said one of his favorite things is that nature and the house aren't so separated. These two doors are actually able to open up in the summertime, and they throw barbecues on their deck, and people are allowed to come and go as they please. It feels very close to nature, and I could totally see that in this home. Love the mudroom. Love the mudroom. And the laundry room. That's pretty sweet too. On to house number 2.
Oh yeah, let's go.
There's 4 more of these babies. Joel, Nice job on the finished work on this baby.
This is the first house. This is what it looked like. That's the house arriving. That's our class.
Was this through shelter?
Yeah.
Okay, what year was this?
1987, I think. We just had so much fun. This is Pat at the end of class.
That's Pat.
He used to dress up and do this funny thing.
Jake, we can get him to do that?
I don't know. And in those days, you could come out and work on people's houses. So our class, the next year, we posted and the class came out the next year.
Is there drool on my face? Like, oh, it's just so. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow, this is so nice.
Build it.
Do you think they'll get mad if I jump in their bathtub real quick?
No.
I don't know if I like the timber frame right now or the bathtub.
Yes. Yeah, there's actually a closet back here too, laundry. It goes all the way through to the dining room. Oh wow, I don't know, it's so cool. Like, I don't know, it's yeah, just seeing it happen over and over and over and over.
Yeah, a lot of people have a very similar story.
Been at this for a long time, these folks, you know?
Yep.
This family, 30 years.
Yeah, our generation thinks we deserve this in our early 20s.
I want a beautiful home with granite countertops and fancy everything. These folks used to come up here 2 weeks in the summer, right?
Yep.
Work on their house. They went to Shelter Institute twice for frames. Wonderful story. This used to just be a wooded lot. They're herding the cattle to the next stopping point. This is the pre-flash wall.
Yeah, into the notch. That's a good idea. I like it.
Hey, I like this. This is your room. This is where my parents can stay when they come visit.
That's the in-laws' quarters.
Get rid of that one. Change of how you do the rest. Moving out.
This is huge.
It's huge.
24 by 36. It's huge.
Does it make you feel like our house is too big?
No, I just think we're not using our space wisely. That's what I think.
Wow, it's really beautiful. Too much to talk about, and I don't know that right now is the
It's a
time.
beautiful frame.
Yeah.
I love this frame.
I like the feel of this house too.
And I think Blueberry has the plans. This is the second frame built by the same guy, both from Shelter Institute.
Okay.
Check this out. You get close,
Guy built
the
two of them.
temperature comes on.
Hey, open up.
Welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order?
Yes. I'd like a bunch of timber frame students. Hold on. Come in. So bathrooms in the rafters in a 12 and 12 pitch is totally doable. So you can see there's a very tall shower opening there. It's less usable here, but I can reach all the way to the end and my head is not touching. So the usable space is all the way to the wall. If you start dropping the roof pitch, this becomes unusable. Even here, where there's a sink, I don't risk really bumping my head above the sink much. Such a usable space in the 12 and 12 pitch. This is only half of a 24-foot wide structure. There's a whole nother room there. Very usable. In the house where we're staying, they have a skylight like this one right here. And at night when it's raining or clear skies, you can actually see the stars while laying in bed. Super cool. This frame is actually the exact frame that we're building in the workshop, only it's one bay longer. So this is a 24 by 36 with a 12 and 12 pitch roof. And because it's 12 and 12, these are simply half lap joints, and there is no collar tie. There's no need for a truss. So these are just rafters that support the roof load. Love these really thick stair treads and timber floor risers. This second floor ceiling and floor is actually one piece. It's 2-inch tongue and groove. So it provides both the ceiling and the floor in one piece. Check it out.
Cool.
Wait for it. Wait, did you hear the toilet seat go down? Because I didn't.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
It was quiet.
I'm really glad I didn't get stuck in a just regular old house. I'm so happy the timber framers chose me.
So it's really nice to get a feel for the sizes because our vents are 12 feet also.
Yeah.
So we planned on a 12 by 12 kitchen and then a 12 by 12 dining, and then we'll have a 12 by 12 porch or something beyond this. So this feels spatially good.
Hey Kyle, we were in your house. Thanks for the quick tour. Really appreciate it.
And then letting Jesse play with your toilet lid.
And I played with the toilet lid.
All right, we gotta go back so I can like release this pee baby.
So when people are like, stay hydrated, what they don't understand is that for 4 hours you're not near a bathroom.
Right?
So you have to find this happy medium between hydration and a absolute throbbing bladder.
I think we're gonna meet in class briefly and then barbecue, and I think we need to go find some sort of dish to bring because
You guys have been lobsters?
I'm gonna go do a quick tour of the shop.
A rare sighting of the elves.
The elves that catch us up and make the frame not look like a bunch of rookie students did it.
Okay, end of the second to last day of the workshop. I can't believe we only have 1 day left. It makes me kind of sad, but we're gonna go ahead, go to Pat's house, and we're gonna do a barbecue, potluck, and I think that's gonna be awesome. Just to touch a little bit more on this barbecue, part of this entire workshop experience isn't simply working together in class, but it's really building a community.
That's part of why, if you remember from some of our timber framing or our building a debt-free home videos, part of what attracted us to timber framing is that it's the family. The family that runs this workshop is just that, a family. Not only are they a biological family, but their students are a part of the family too. That's why they let us tour their homes today. The house that we're staying in while we're here, they're all part of this great big family. Something like 30,000 people, I think, have taken this school over the last 40 years. And so we get to join our classmates together tonight for a barbecue potluck and enjoy more fellowship and building relationships, which kind of just goes hand in hand with timber framing.
It really does, yeah. Well, it's the last day of the workshop, and it's kind of bittersweet. We're really excited to see this frame go up, but we're also kind of sad that it's over. But we want to get there early, so we're gonna go ahead and get going. We do have to make sure that all of our batteries are charged as much as possible because we need to get every bit of this frame going up because it's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime experience. But we got home really late last night, so we're kind of behind on our charging. Oh, we'll do what we can. We're not at the workshop yet. Where did you take me?
Detour. So Jamie, who is selling her home, has some leftover tools from their build. One of which is a chain mortiser, a tool that we have been looking for. And so we thought we would pick it up and take it to the workshop this morning and just see if it works. And if it works, we might see if we can make her an offer on it. So we got to grab it really quick on the way to the workshop.
Because we know the value of a chain mortiser, right?
Well, we've had to hand dig out mortises, and so now the value of a chain mortiser becomes ridiculously obvious. I think once you work with hand tools and you do most things by hand, it teaches you the true value of a power tool. If you start with power tools, you don't really understand what you're shortcutting, and you don't have an appreciation for it.
We're going, clearly.
To the dungeon.
Ooh, it's dark in here. Dark, 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 dark.
There she is.
All right, to the workshop.
This is way bigger than a chisel.
Will this fit on the airplane is the question. So right now we're moving all of these beams by hand over here. And I think that's because we're gonna erect the structure right here. And I'm already tired. I lifted 3 and each one got heavier and heavier, and Pat told me to stop.
Uh-oh.
How come there are 38 of you?
How many were there?
Multiplied overnight.
No eating Cheetos and handling the beams. Hey guys, proud of your ducklings?
So exciting to see
Right?
it all come together.
I was just telling Steve, like, this part probably never gets boring.
No, it doesn't. It's super exciting every time.
On 3, we're going to do it. 1, 2, 3.
Where do you get one of those?
This is a plum Barbara.
We actually carried them for a while and then the supply dried up.
But it's not centered.
I was wondering where you were, Jesse. You're heading over here.
Hey, make sure you want to get money.
What's crazy is we've had mistakes we've had to fix, and it's still coming together quick. I hear myself echoing in my helmet. Is that weird?
Normal.
I mean, if it was a whole lot deeper.
What are your thoughts on the size of it?
It's a good size. You could fit a kitchen and a living room and a bathroom down there.
Have you thought about what size house you guys might want to build?
Oh yes, 20 by 40. With,
20 by 40?
Yeah,
Okay.
with 2 12 by 12 annexes later. Room enough I can stick the kids somewhere and not hear them.
Totally, yeah.
Look at that joint, guys.
Hey, I did one of those.
Cool.
Oh my god. That's fun, Kitty.
We didn't know you had it in you, Bruce.
Bruce, thank you.
Nice job, Sheldon.
Viewing the crew, happy with the results.
Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Da, 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 da,
Can we move our tassels?
I don't know the rest of the song.
This song has a very different meaning to
I thought you were a real man.
Is it really?
You should be
Yeah.
belting it out.
What does it mean?
Well, it's this piece is called Land of Hope and Glory, and it's like a
Really?
wartime thing.
Oh, so it's not a happy thing.
Well, sort of. It's triumphant.
I'm not sure you all passed, but we'll see.
Oh no.
Jeff Albrecht.
Oh my God, the best is hers.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Chris Bowie. Joseph Bowie. Congratulations.
Ah, cool, listen.
I'm so proud of you.
You have so many other things.
Way to go, Bruce.
Thank you. Holy smokes, I don't know if I can read this much.
Is that your name? Daffy, holy smokes, I don't know if I can read this much.
Man who gets a special hug.
Oh, wonderful.
And last and absolutely not least,
I do graduate.
you who feel like doing math, we'll meet you at 1:30 in the classroom.
Did you say mass or math?
For me, it's about the same thing.
It's good meeting you. This week has been absolutely magical, and the people behind me, just a fraction of the class overall. We just finished talking about engineering, and we've been given quite a bit of information to do simplified engineering, to figure out beam sizing, post sizing, using most any species of wood. And so everybody's wrapping up, and they're all going to head back to their families, their jobs, their homes, and hopefully we'll be able to keep in touch with everybody and see how their projects are going. We've definitely made some wonderful friends. Some are even fairly close to us, which will be really exciting to see if we get to work on future projects together. And I think Alyssa and I are going to try to go do some exploring, which with the best of intentions we planned to do a week ago. But we've got to get it done because we're leaving for home in the morning.
Does it pass the test?
Pass the test.
Really? What was the test?
Just check to make sure it works.
It works?
It works.
Yay.
Yep, everything's there and works. Which one do you want?
Any.
This one? Okay, I'll probably take one. Ooh, I love when that moment when you grab one brownie and two get picked up.
Bye guys.
Good luck.
Don't forget the brownies.
It's organized.
The brownies.
It's in layers.
Yeah. iPhone, take us to Pemaquid Lighthouse now. We refuse to leave Maine without seeing a lighthouse. That plane is not allowed to leave without us.
And good weather. We're
Right?
kind of stingy. We don't want to just see it in the main fog.
Yeah,
we
we're
want to see
picky.
it in the partly cloudy.
We're beggars and choosers. This bird is looking at himself in the car wheel.
Not sure if we should peck at it or what.
That's so funny.
Watch
Look at him.
Like,
Think
hey,
that's why he's pecking?
my light, yeah, oh yeah.
They have no idea how their paint's
My
getting
lighthouse.
chipped.
My lighthouse. Mine. They weren't kidding when they said that Maine has granite coastlines. Holy snozcumbers. Wouldn't these make cool countertops?
Yeah, should we move here?
Move here? It's a little far. I mean, we're basically
That'd be
on
a
the
great
other
ending
coast.
to the video. Like, we have an announcement
Right,
to
just
make.
pick up a U-Haul.
Yeah. Lighthouse selfie.
Lighthouse selfie.
Yay! Oh, here's the graveyard of bad students.
So if they were to bury you out back, what would be on your headstone? What sins have you committed this week?
Oh, I cut out a through mortise where I shouldn't have cut out. It was meant to be sloped.
Oh, I remember that.
Done it. But I only did it halfway, so they probably fixed. So don't cut where you're not meant to.
Who's the person that had to have theirs completely filled in by Pat? That wasn't you, was it?
No.
It was on like the far end of the building. You were working over there.
It wasn't me. You know what it was? No.
This was cut out, and I think this is glued back in.
He fitted the piece of wood in and glued it in.
That's awesome.
That makes
Someone
it feel a
needs
lot
to
better.
sign it.
What sins have you committed this week?
Too many cuts on my hand. I might be the most injured person in the class.
Was that the trail of blood?
No, that wasn't
No,
mine.
That was.
Oh, you're not the trail of blood.
No.
That was Jerry.
So it'd be like
I did have a small trail, but not as big as Jerry.
Jerry, what would your headstone read if they buried you out back?
buried me out back. I have no idea.
Someone here got in a fight with the chisel and lost, clearly.
I was joking that they let 20 people into a building, they closed the door, and each of us have 2 extremely sharp objects, and they didn't do a psych eval. Pat would probably make my headstone. And it would probably say, put the camera down.
That's probably true. That would be my headstone.
Well, probably both of us.
So it looks like our tenon's too long, our mortise is too short, and this needs to sit flush there, and it's not, so we're doing a little troubleshooting.
What's going to go on your headstone?
I don't really know.
You didn't commit any sins all week?
Oh yeah, that's right, yes. I may have dropped the chisel.
Were you the one?
It didn't fall wood side down, it fell metal side down.
Did it really? Just bam!
It just nailed concrete.
I mastered the leaving the chisel on the beams.
You did, every
again
time I turned around.
But I never got punished for it.
With no stupid little leather thing on there, every time I turned around.
I might not have a tombstone reserved for me. So this post we're taking apart because it was done wrong, that has our name on it. Here's proof of did what, so there's absolutely no hiding from your mistakes. Jesse, did you know this is our post?
Oh.
It like for real.
Why do you think he jumped right on it now?
Right.